Hey babes, and welcome back to another video. I'm so happy to be filming this today. Today's Thanksgiving Day, and it just feels so special, and my heart is so full to know that my channel is growing the way that it is and things are going the way they are. I just feel really, really blessed, and I'm so thankful for, literally, I was thinking about it yesterday, and I'm like, I'm so thankful for every single one of you who has supported me, who comments, who subscribes, everything. It's Thanksgiving Day, so there's children running around my house right now. My cousins are here. They're much younger than I am, so they're like very excited and running around, and there's a lot of noise here. But with that being said, this video will have some noise throughout it, so if that bothers you, this might not be the video for you. However, I just want to let you guys know how thankful I am for you. And today we're going to be doing a full face, almost full face, I think, pretty much, of first impressions. Pretty much everything was a hit. There's a few misses in here, and you guys will see the disaster that happens in the beginning of this video. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this super Thanksgiving fall vampy look. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, or had a wonderful Thanksgiving, depending on when this video goes up. I'm hoping to edit it, upload it tonight so that you guys can watch it on Thanksgiving Day. But if not, I'm sorry. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so since this is what I consider to be nearly a full face, I don't think I've ever bought so much makeup and saved it with enough time to actually use it all at one video. So I picked up some goodies from TJ Maxx, and they're all Too Faced. So I got this. I have the, I'll show you guys. So this is also like a full face of Too Faced in the sense of like makeup wise, but I also have their like Hangover spray, which I'm going to use in conjunction with their Hangover primer today. I will say I did put the e.l.f. Poreless Putty primer on my nose just because I felt like my nose kind of needed it. And this is supposed to be like a moisturizing primer. And I also got the Tutti Frutti Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation. So you guys know I've been enjoying fresh, glowy style foundations, like kind of more hydrating ones. And finally, I also got the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. This is not the Born This Way concealer that is like their newest one. That's like a really chubby tube. So I got those three things, and I will be using the spray as well today instead of like any other spray that I normally have. I don't have like new brow products or anything. I do have a new lip. This is the Wet n Wild matte lipstick. I've been wanting like a really brownie nude lipstick. This actually matches my sweater pretty well. This is in the shade Caramel Cake, and I just thought it was beautiful. It is a matte lipstick. And then I also got this Rimmel Maxi Blush in the shade Sweet Cheeks. This is actually really affordable. It was like $3.40, something like that. Okay, I'm like nearly there. I just want to show you guys all the new products that I got so that we can kind of know what's new and what's not new. Also, I picked up the Equate Large Powder Brush. This was a recommendation from Juicy Jazz here on YouTube. Jasmine like does a lot of like drugstore videos and stuff, so she has that. And the reason that I say this will be a full face is because I also picked up this Physicians Formula Ultimate Murumuru Butter Collection. So it literally is ginormous. I was gonna depot it and put it into individual things, but I decided that it actually, like, it's bulky, but for everything in here, it's not that bulky. So I decided to just leave it as it is, as it comes. Let me just show you guys. When I opened it, I broke it, so don't be like me and like force it open. So it opens like this first. And so here are all the bronzers. I'm gonna take this sheet off so you guys can see it better. By the way, today is Thanksgiving, and so I'm gonna be creating like a Thanksgiving style look with these products. I was gonna do a Thanksgiving look and a first impressions look in like two different chunks, but like two different videos, but I ran out of time, and today's Thanksgiving, and I want to test these products out and do like a really nice warm Thanksgiving fall look, you know what I mean? Also, if you guys hear any noise in the background, I have family here, so like they're getting ready and like there's noises everywhere, so just kind of ignore that. But I love that all these bronzers, there's like a few shimmery bronzers, and look at this palette of like eyeshadows. I think I'm going to use this really warm one right here and some of these browns. I just think they're beautiful. So that's what you first see when you open the palette. And then what happens is it slides out. So here's the blushes, and then here is the lip products. I don't think I'm going to be using the lip products today, but they are matte. Like, they don't have shimmer in them, if you know what I mean. But I will be using the blushes today for sure. Probably in addition to the blush from Rimmel. By the way, I don't really ever buy Rimmel products, but whatever. And then on this side, you get a whole set of highlighters, which I love that they made like the gold highlight the biggest one, because I know that's what I'm going to use the most. And then if you keep opening it, there's a mirror, which I'm not really going to show you guys because I'm not really going to use it. So I have almost a full face of makeup with this palette, so I'm super excited about that. I'm just going to go ahead and start getting into the makeup and priming and all that good stuff. I do have a foundation from Too Faced. It is the Born This Way, like this foundation, so if this sucks, I know this is good. This, obviously, it was a limited edition product, so I got the shade Natural Beige. But I figured I would just like show you guys a bunch of new makeup. The packaging on this is super cute. This like Tutti Frutti collection, I thought it was adorable at the time, but like I was not going to pay full price for it. So here we are testing it. This one hair, I'm sorry guys. Okay, so I picked up my hair better because that was driving me insane. But so this says it is full coverage, but it's supposed to be really luminous. It says it's infused with juicy watermelon and fresh cucumber. So if you guys see this at your local TJ Maxx, I think it's really great. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it. I mean, it wasn't the cheapest foundation ever, but like also it wasn't as expensive as it normally would be for Too Faced. And I'm just going to apply it with the Beauty Blender dupe I talked to you guys about in previous video. I can't even remember what video that was. So, you know, that might be too dark for me. We're going to make it. Oh, primer. Shoot. That does look really full coverage though, like right off the bat. I'm probably going to have to drag this down to my neck, and I actually might end up changing what I'm wearing to have something that's like higher up after the fact. But for now, it is what it is. So, also I broke a nail, so just ignore that, you guys. We're struggling. I think if there's anything that I'm going to love out of the stuff I bought from Too Faced, it's going to be this primer. Look how ginormous it is. Like, I love that. It's So Big Silicone Free Major Hangover Primer. So this is a product that they have all the time, but this is like a ginormous version of it. Normally, like, the primer, this one is like much smaller, and this is, you know, yeah. So I love that it comes with a pump. Again, this is supposed to be like a almost lotiony, I believe, kind of primer that is very hydrating and makes your makeup last, but is really hydrating. If that's like my understanding of it, it does feel really, really nice. So it says it's infused with coconut water, probiotic-based ingredients, and skin revivers. And literally, it smells just like, if you guys like the Hangover 3-in-1 spray, it smells exactly like it. I'm going to go ahead and apply this. By the way, that soaked into my skin really, really fast. So I think this might be slightly too dark. And, you know, we're going to make it work. Normally, it wouldn't be too dark, but I have not self-tanned, and I'm pretty fair right now. Me and the sun, I don't know her. We haven't hung out in a while. So yeah, this color isn't really too dark for me. It's just a little bit off in color. So it looks like, I feel like you can really tell that it's a different color compared to the rest of my face, but like by itself against my neck, it's not that big of a difference. Okay, so I'm actually going to do the other side with a brush. I'm going to use the Morphe Y6 brush from their Gilded collection just to see how I feel. Honestly, this is not full coverage. The fact that this is advertised as full coverage, like, no, this is not full coverage. It's full coverage in the sense that the color is deeper than my skin tone, so it's covering stuff up. But like, I can still see stuff underneath. Also, I don't like the smell of this. I really thought I was gonna like this, but I am not liking it. I feel that it's not full coverage, and I can definitely see my skin through it. Okay, so it doesn't say on the receipt what price this was at, so it was either, I think it was either $10.99. Okay, so the primer, sorry, was $14.99, the concealer was $8.99, and this was $10.99. I have to say that for what you're paying for this, I would just go to Ulta and get the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation. It also has a pump. It is a glass bottle, which is kind of a damper because if you're traveling or anything. I'm really not liking this, and I was afraid to do this video today because obviously I need my makeup to last a long time, and I need it to look good for photos, so I am actually going to take this off. I don't like it. I don't like it with a sponge, and I don't like it with a brush either, and it just seems, I mean, I'm sure I could make it work, but like, I'm really, really not enjoying it. It's not full coverage, and this one says, or the Makeup Revolution one advertises as medium to full coverage, and I think it's full coverage, but that one is not full coverage. I feel like, I don't know. And it doesn't quite match, and I don't like it. So we're gonna do something else. I'm gonna take this off and I'll choose another foundation. Okay, actually I really hate to not try to make it work. So we're gonna try, I'm gonna use something different on my nose because this is too hydrating for my nose. So I'm gonna use the Conceal and Define Makeup Revolution Concealer, not the hydrating one. This is the hydrating one. They also have a matte one, so I'm gonna use that one. The shade is a little bit better, so I think that that's gonna help the situation. And I do need some coverage right here because I'm breaking out a little bit. But part of the reason that I don't want to just give up now is because I still have a concealer to test out, and I might think that the concealer could save this. So we're just gonna try and work with it. I think the only way that the only way that anybody would really enjoy this foundation is if they had really, really dry skin. Using this matte one on my nose and the tone of it kind of evened out the makeup, and I feel a little better about it. So now we're going to test out the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. Again, this is a radiant concealer, so I don't know if it's going to be full coverage, and I need full coverage. This says it's infused with hyaluronic acid and it's non-comedogenic, which is really nice. It means it doesn't like clog your pores. So this is what it looks like. I really like the shade of this one. I think it's going to be a good match, hopefully. That's a little yellow. We're going to make it work. The applicator is really nice and it feels really, really creamy. I think this is a good dupe, even though it's high-end, for the, I guess maybe the Maybelline one is a dupe for this. Just the way that I'm feeling it. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Like, they're very standard. It's like a luminous kind of concealer. So I'm going to try to blend this out and see how I feel. Okay, so it's not that it doesn't look good, but it's not full coverage. I can see, I don't have a lot of dark circles, but I can see them through it. Maybe you guys can't because of my lighting, but I can definitely see it in person. And honestly, I don't think I like the idea of a luminous concealer. I'm sure that if I went ahead and set everything with powder, obviously it would get really matte. But I'm not liking the concealer either. And I think that maybe the only way that you would enjoy this is not only if you had really, really dry skin, but also if you didn't have a lot of skin imperfections or you weren't somebody that enjoyed really full coverage makeup. Like myself. I really enjoy full coverage. This is not it. By the way, in this one I had the shade Light Medium, and Light Medium was very, very yellow. Even though I have, like, my skin pulls yellow, it was very, very yellow. So yeah, this one was $8.99, and it's gonna be a pass for me. I think both of the foundation and the concealer are a pass. I'm not impressed whatsoever. I think that for me, I would have to use like a hydrating product under my underskin, like as a primer, and then use a more mattifying foundation over top. This looks nice, but it's not my vibe, and I don't want to risk my makeup looking bad today because we're going to take some family photos. So I did want to test it for you guys and like show you guys what it looks like, but I think it's going to come off. I'm just truly not liking the way that it's looking, and I really want my makeup to look nice. So let's really, really do it, if you guys can tell. Even when I've been using the hyaluronic acid one, I will always go in with something more matte here, and then I'll go in with a matte concealer. So the fact that this is like a dewy foundation, a dewy primer, and a dewy like luminous concealer, it's just the combination isn't working for me. So I'm gonna take this off and be right back. Okay guys, starting over again. My skin is cleansed and moisturized again. So I am going to go in with a matte foundation actually. I think part of the reason I didn't like that is also because I'm just like not into, like, if I know I need to wear my makeup for a really long time, I don't really feel like a luminous foundation is going to be what works for me. And that was a lot of luminous products. So instead I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Foundation. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Superstay Full Coverage Foundation from Maybelline. I love this so much I actually repurchased it. So this one is almost out, but I still feel like there's some in here, so I'm trying to get it out. But I know this is a product that's going to be able to cover this pimple here and like any redness or discoloration that I have. So I am going to go in with this primer. I did really like this, and I think that because I'm going in with a matte foundation, I can use a luminous hydrating primer and it worked really well together. I am kind of avoiding my nose area, by the way, because I'm going to put a mattifying primer there. I love to mix my primers, so I think I'm actually, like I said, going to go with a matte one on my nose, but then once this sinks in, I'm going to go with the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I have talked about this a million times. You guys should know if you watch my channel how obsessed I am with it. And then on my nose, I'm going to go with the One Heck of a Blot primer from Soap & Glory. This is a really, really great oil control primer. I'm going to let all of that sink into my skin, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop on some e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I know that this beginning of this video has been a little bit crazy, so I'm going to go ahead and do this and just apply my foundation off camera because this is not a new product. So I'm also going to go with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It's also a matte concealer, and this combination works really well for me. So I'm going to do this off camera, and we'll be right back to work on the face. Okay guys, so as I'm blending it in, I just really wanted to take a minute to show you guys the difference that this looks. It still looks luminous, but it is full coverage, and it actually matches, number one. And because I still used a luminous product underneath, but the foundation is matte, it created more of a satin finish, and it just looks so much better on my skin. I really, really enjoy this foundation, and again, it's drugstore, so you can't beat it. Okay guys, so I set my under eye with my Collab powder. If you guys haven't tried this, it's really, really good, and it's not super drugstore, but it's pretty good. And you can get it at Sally Beauty Supply. So also, I've been using this Revolution setting powder. This is their light pink loose setting powder. Like, that's the shade I have. Because I really like how luminous it is. Like, it's super luminous. So I like doing it on my cheek especially, and then kind of like in my forehead area. Also, I got this at TJ Maxx a while ago. This is the Kat Von D powder in the shade. It's the powder foundation, and this one's in the shade of Light 48. And I am going to take the brush for this, just to kind of like take away any of the other powders, you know, and kind of get my face looking one uniform shade again. I'm also going to drag this down my neck. So I kind of went ahead and put some more of that white powder on my cheeks, but I did set with this brush, and my mom was like, should I, because I asked her to open the packaging for me just now, and my grandma's filing her nails, guys. I'm so sorry about the noise. But yeah, this is just like Equate's large powder brush, and it is so incredibly soft. I literally she opened it for me, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep it yet. Like, let me just see how I feel. And I'm obsessed. It's like really really dense, but at the same time it's very, very soft and fluffy and just so nice. So okay, now we're gonna go ahead and jump into bronzer. I'm gonna use my favorite bronzer brush, which is the Wet n Wild limited edition like Pac-Man brush. I just really love the shape of it, so that's like the one I'm using. I've been obsessed with it for a while now. And the one thing about this is that like it's hard to show it to you guys, and the shade names are really, really difficult to show you because of the way that it's set up. But this is just their original bronzer shade, which I have. This is their light bronzer, which is probably what I'm going to use to contour my nose. Normally I use the regular bronzer, but we'll see. And then they just have a bunch of shades. So some of them are shimmery, some of them are not. I'm just going to kind of dip around into them and see how I feel. Right now I'm just going into the regular bronzer shade because I use this shade to bronze a lot. Yeah, I think this is a good shade. So I'm not using light bronzer, I'm using the regular bronzer shade, and it's looking really good. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, or if this actually, by any miraculous like chance, this video actually goes up on Thanksgiving, then I hope you guys have an awesome Thanksgiving. So I'm just bronzing. I really, really love all of the Physicians Formula Butter collection. Like, everything they've come out with I really have enjoyed. The shade I actually just used was the shade Light Bronzer, and it's because the way that I was facing it to you guys, I actually had gone in with the shade Light Bronzer, so now I'm going in with just the regular bronzer shade to kind of deepen it up a little on my cheeks. I was wondering why I was like struggling to build it up so much. Normally I don't have to use very much of the butter bronzer at all. So now I'm going to use the light bronzer shade to contour my nose. I really like using the butter bronzers for my nose contour because they're such a satiny matte finish that it blends really nicely without taking out any product underneath or looking choppy or anything, and they just blend out so nicely. By the way, you guys, I picked this up for 15 bucks because of a discount code. If you guys don't follow, I think it's called Beauty Deals, Beauty BFF something. I'll link it down below. It's an Instagram account that like shares deals and stuff, and they're on sale on Amazon, and it is like a legit Physicians Formula seller that was selling it on Amazon. If that makes sense, like Physicians Formula like had an Amazon store, and so I got it in like a day, and it was just so cool to get it for 15 bucks. This retails for $40, so even honestly for $40 I think it's still worth it, but to get it for that cheap was like, what a deal, you know? So I'm gonna take the darkest one right here, and I'm gonna lightly chisel at these cheekbones a little bit. I'm using the Morphe Y9 brush from their Gilded collection. I normally don't contour, but since I have this here, probably should have tapped off some excess powder, but I'm just so excited to use all these products. The nice thing about having a really fat powder brush like this is that you can just like pass it over stuff that you feel like needs a little extra blending, and it does a really great job of that because it's like so loose and just really, really nice. So I am gonna like chisel at my cheekbones with some powder after I apply blush. Again, I like that they made their biggest blush, the blush that I probably would gear toward. It is matte, but it has like that satin matte finish that all the Physicians Formula products have. And I might also apply a little bit of the one up here. I don't really like this one, like that's just not my vibe, but like all the other ones, minus this one, like I know I'm gonna use and love. So I'm gonna apply the bottom bronzer, the biggest like pan of it, with my Eco Tools bronze brush. Yes, it's a bronze brush, but I use it for blush and I love it. One thing is it does pick up a lot of product. That is a really nice blush. It's super luminous, but not glittery at all. I didn't realize how much I loved blush until a subscriber slash friend now was like, you would totally love this blush vault, like you are so, like blush is your thing, whatever. So that's kind of when I realized I think I'm moving more from being super into highlight and being more into blush. But today we are probably going to go with a nice blinding highlight because I have a lot of highlights in these pans, so I'm really excited to use them. So I only used that blush and I thought it was really, really nice. One thing about this is it's kind of hard to remember where everything is located. So I'm not going to highlight my nose yet because I'm afraid that all of these highlights are going to be really intense. Also, I love that they have these darker shades and also very fair shades, because if you literally are anybody, you can find a shade here that works for you. And I could totally use this as eyeshadows to highlight my inner corner, blah, blah, blah. So, and these I think would be beautiful eyeshadows for me. So, but if you're a deeper skin tone, I'm sure it would make a beautiful highlight. So I think Physicians Formula really did a good job on this palette. So I'm going to take this rose gold shade up here and, oh, that's really buttery. I guess that's why they call it the Butter Collection. But, you know, holy cow. You guys are seeing that? Like, I wet my skin normally, but I literally haven't. But I'm barely tapping my brush in here. That's beautiful. The tops of my cheekbones, I'm going to use this bottom highlight right here. I hope it's not going to be too dark. Looks really beautiful. I wish it was a little lighter. I feel like this might be too intensely gold for me. Oh, no, it's good. Wow. You guys see that? I barely tapped in. That's what I was afraid of. Like, when I use the Casey Holmes blush or highlighter that's in her collection, every time I'm like, oh wait, that's so intense, and I always like forget to apply less. Less is more with these highlights. So I'm going to apply just a little on the bridge of my nose like this and see how I feel. There's not really a light enough shade here to highlight my nose, I feel. Like, these are all kind of too dark. Maybe I'll try the rose gold and the gold, like, barely. It works. Definitely works. But normally I go in with, like, a lighter highlight. These are super intense, so I normally wouldn't want to put that on my nose. But I think it's fine. So then what I like to do is go in with another blush, because I find that if I only use one blush, like, at one point in my routine, then I have to, like, I have too much highlight here and I want to blend it out. So I'm going to take the brush again and I'm going to try this one. This is the Maxi Blush from Rimmel. Because it's really matte, I thought it'd be really nice to blend out that. I'm really liking the way the face is looking right now. This looks literally wet and it's not. So I'm going to do my brows off camera really quick and work on my eyelids, priming them and all that, so that we can go ahead and get into the eyeshadow portion. Okay guys, so my eyelids are primed. I just used a little bit of the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus Concealer to just kind of cover up my eyebrows, and then I just patted it everywhere else. And I took some more of that Revolution powder and just like kind of cleaned it under my cheeks. And probably left it on too long, so I'm just rubbing it away with that powder brush that I am newly obsessed with. Look how fluffy it is. I'm so obsessed with it. The first thing I'm going to do is probably start with this like pinky shade right here, and then probably jump into this brown, because I feel like there's not like a perfect transition shade for what we're looking for. Oh, actually, why am I boxing myself in, guys? Literally, we have all these shades right here as a perfect transition shade. For me, this is like a really good, this like light bronzer that we were using. I think that for me is like what I consider to be a perfect transition shade for my eyes. I don't want it to be too pinky, too orangey most of the time. I will want this look to look a little bit more warm and orangey than normal, but like this is a good transition for me. I find that it like blends into my skin perfectly. Next, I think I'm gonna go in with this orange shade. We're just gonna jump into it and be really bold, and that's kind of scary, but I'm gonna take this little fluffy Wet n Wild brush and going to, oh, she's intense. Oh gosh. But honestly, I feel like what better way to like have a Thanksgiving look. I literally just dipped my brush in like once to that orange color, and look at that. I barely tapped into it. I did want it to blend out really nicely, that's why I did that, but I definitely think we can build this up to be very, very intense if we wanted to. I think this is a really well curated palette. I love these emeraldy shades right here. This green is like so amazing. I didn't really realize it before. I didn't buy this for the eyeshadows. I really mainly bought it for the blushes, highlighters, and the bronzers for sure. Because think about it, I paid $15 for this. One Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer is $15 basically. So I got this on a super sale, which is amazing. But even then, like getting all this for $40, even if you paid full price, is like really good. So I started doing this eye and working on it. So I'm going to do what I just did here over here so that we can be on the same page. So I'm going to take a smaller little fluffy brush from Wet n Wild and going to go with this really dark, ooh, you can barely see it. This is huge. This really dark rich brown. They have other browns here, but this one is like super rich and dark. When I applied this on my eye, I was literally like, wow, that is chocolate. That is the shade of chocolate, and it is like a nice deep, 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 deep brown. Really, really like it. It has this like richness to it. It's almost black in a way. So I'm basically packing this on my outer lid here, placing the color where I want and kind of blending lightly at the top a little bit. Then I'm going to go with my previous brush and pick up the really, really orange shade that we were using. And I'm going to buff that out. Add some more of that orange to really intensify. I really want this brown to carry higher actually, so I'm gonna go in with a fluffier brush to really get that to happen. The end of this Anastasia fluffy brush, just because it's one that I know I had used with a deeper color. And I'm taking that dark rich brown I was talking to you guys about, and I'm actually gonna buff it higher because I really did want like a lot of browniness on this top part of my eye right here. Like I wanted it to like expand like that, you know? Okay guys, so my family just got here, so this video has to be quick now. So I did do this eye off camera, and I actually really love the way this turned out. This foiled eyeshadow here is phenomenal. I am shook. So basically, all I did after this part was I cut my crease, and again, I'm just using the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus Concealer. I didn't even spray my brush, you guys. This is like full-on coppery goodness. This shade right here that's next to the matte we've been using is phenomenal. Like look at that. I just pressed my brush on it. And I'm just using a flat brush. This is not wet at all. I'm sure if I sprayed it, it would be even more crazy intense. And like I was able to get it really precise because the eyeshadow was just that good. So then I'm going to take this top eyeshadow right here. It's just like a really nice little sparkly shadow. And I'm going to pop that on the inner part of my eye. Okay, so then I want to share with you guys a little trick, because sometimes I will do my under eye and like my powder will come off. So I'm going to take my other, like the clean side of my sponge, and I'm just going to press it right here and get that area a little bit wet. And I've noticed that doing that makes my eyeshadows go on so much easier and look so much more intense. So right now I'm just going in with that brown and kind of connecting everything on here on the outer corner. Then I'm going to take this Luxie 209 Enlarged Shader Brush. This actually came in a BoxyCharm, and so I'm actually going to mix two shades. I'm going to take this matte shade right here, which is just a nice brown, but then I also saw this like really warm, kind of shimmery bronzer, and I'm going to mix these two shades. I will say this palette does have a little bit of fallout with the mattes, so I've had to like dust it away, but I'm not even upset about it. It's perfectly fine. So next I'm going to go with my Makeup Revolution mascara. I didn't even do eyeliner. You can do a nice brown eyeliner. I think I will probably pop that in my eye at some point. Just on the lower lash line. But I hadn't done it, and I think that it looks really good and my eyes look really smoky. Also, you guys know, if you follow me, I love me some really nice full lashes. So these are the Dollar Tree lashes. These are the Ioni ones. And I'm using them because I have them, and I've talked about it before, but like I can't find them anywhere, so I'm so sorry. I could definitely do some eyeliner on the top lash like line if you want to hide your lashes more, but I'm running low on time and family is more important than makeup. So okay, so now for the lip, I'm so excited. I think I'm gonna go with the BFF2 lip liner. I just think that it will match really nicely. It's a little bit more berry than the lipstick, but I think it'll work really well. Again, this lip, I love this lipstick formula, and I've been wanting a nice brown lip for a while. So this, shoot, dropping stuff. This is in the shade Caramel Cake, and by the way, these are vegan. So, oh, look how nice that is. So excited. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sure you can hear the talking in the background, but literally there's like my little cousins are here and it's amazing and I'm just really happy and like my heart is so full right now. So this like outro's gonna be really fast. Basically the only thing I didn't like out of this video was these two products, the foundation and the concealer that I tried in the beginning. No go. Not a fan. They weren't working for me. I think this is like the biggest hit of all of it. The primer's good and everything. I paid like $14.99 for this. So it's nice, but like it's not like, oh my god, my Jelly Pop primer, you know what I mean? But it's a really nice primer. But this is amazing. Also, I love this lip. I'm just so obsessed with the color. I think it's so fall and like vampy and I just absolutely love it. So I don't have anything like it. And also this brush is amazing. Go get it. I think it was like literally $5 and I can't imagine how Equate does it. Like this brush being $5 is like a dream. So that is it. We have wrapped it up and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, or I hope you've had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, depending on when this video goes up. But yeah, I love you guys. Have a wonderful holiday and I will see you all in my next video.